Hello everybody, it's Dr. Steve Hoffman. Welcome to another edition of Core Wellness TV 3 Pillars Edition, Mindset, Movement, and Nutrition. The mindset piece today is all about activating the drug cabinet in your brain. And I'm going to link to a YouTube video that brought this to light. And the nutrition piece is about herbal aspirin, and sometimes that you just need a nutrition adjustment to get rid of pain, not a chiropractic adjustment or a massage or whatever else you do. And lastly, the movement piece, we're going to be talking about the tennis player with no core. Okay, mindset. David Butler, physical therapist out of Australia. Fantastic mind, fantastic teacher. He talks about the drug cabinet in the brain. He actually co-authored the book Explain Pain with Lorimer Moseley. And he talked about how brain chemicals, you have a little place in your brain that makes your own morphine, right? They're called enkephalins or endorphins in physiology, but basically they're morphine analogs, and you make that in your brain, and that's what helps you dampen pain. Okay? Now here's the deal. Sometimes we lose that ability to make that dampening chemical if we are in a stage of catastrophizing, meaning for instance, you have a low back pain and you go to the doctor and you get an x-ray and it says degenerative disc disease. You have a disease, and you have to take this anti-inflammatory medication, and you have this feeling that you're a victim of disease, and you have this external locus of control. The more external, the more power you give away, the less dampening activity you have for pain. Does that make sense? So in physiology, they also call it the locus of control. The more power and knowledge you have about what causes pain and what you can do yourself to get out of the pain with, simple functional exercises like you see in the Reverse CPS Now program. Like, you can get that for free. Just put your name and email address in, you'll get that for free. These types of exercises are the exercises that show you, hey, when I do this, I feel better, and that gives you the power. So that's what happens a lot with chronic fatigue and fibromyalgia, is we lose that dampening ability, and then everything comes through as pain, even the things that aren't supposed to be painful. So how do you really switch on the dampening activity of these chemicals? You become aware of your body. You become aware how to move functionally. You become aware of your posture. You become aware that you are in control, and nobody outside of you is ever going to fix you until you decide to fix yourself. So that switch and that knowledge automatically gives your brain the power to say, this isn't such a catastrophe. I can help myself. So that's the mindset piece. So it's active care versus passive care. Get yourself back in control by increasing your knowledge and taking responsibility for that knowledge, okay? I know there's a lot more to that, but that's the basics of it. Second thing, we're going to talk about nutrition. I had it's a private client that I've had for almost 10 years now, coming in with this chronic heel pain, right? And it's just I've been doing, getting some results, but doing some some soft tissue work and adjusting her foot and teaching her these exercises, right? So she had all this power and she had all this knowledge, but still she was stuck. So here's the other piece, right? Remember, there's 3 pillars: mindset, movement, and what? Nutrition. What did we do? I said, I knew her history, right? I knew that she did not do well with wheat and gluten. I said, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to get rid of gluten. Now, to remind you, this is months and even years of heel pain. Let's get rid of the gluten, and we're going to take in flavonoid intensive care, and it's just an herbal combination, an Ayurvedic formula with turmeric, Boswellia serrata, and ginger and cayenne, and some other bioflavonoids from citrus bioflavonoids, and a little bit of vitamin C and a couple of other things in it too. Basically, what this stuff does is it acts on the same, the quercetin, the turmeric, like the stuff that you put in pumpkin pie or Indian spices, the stuff that makes it yellow, the ginger and the Boswellia serrata, these 3 herbs act just like aspirin does. It works on the exact same chemical pathway as aspirin, ibuprofen, naproxen, all of these NSAIDs. It works on this COX enzyme. You don't need to know that. But basically what it does is it modulates pain signals. And actually it's not pain until it gets to the brain. It modulates the potentially damaging signals that your body gives to your brain. So it dampens pain at the tissue level. Okay? So it works like aspirin, herbal aspirin. The bioflavonoids in it acts like a steroid because it doesn't, see, whenever cells break open, all the goo spills out of the cell membrane, and then, all heck breaks loose, and you have this inflammatory response, like this fire that happens. But what the quercetin does, and these lemon bioflavonoids that are in it, it doesn't allow it creates better membrane stability, so your membranes don't just go busting open all the time. So this also helps with allergies, because that's what allergies is, and asthma and all these kinds of things. But it helps dramatically with pain. So long story short, she comes back in 2 weeks, or after 1 week of using of a gluten-free diet and using this inflavonoid intensive care, no pain, zero nada. Nutrition adjustment. I've been working on it for how long, right? We've been probably working for 4 to 6 weeks, and then it hit me like, come on, Steve, get more aggressive about having people do nutritional adjustments. It makes such a huge impact. So if you have a chronic pain, try that. Why not? At least get rid of the gluten, because this gluten stuff, it creates inflammatory, in a lot of people, it creates, especially the modified Archer Daniels Midland dwarf wheat stuff that resembles nothing of the original wheat. This stuff causes inflammatory responses in your body. It has what's called these gluteomorphins, right? These morphine-like chemicals that kind of mess with your brain, and along with creating leaky gut and all kinds of issues like this. So if you get rid of the gluten, just try it for a couple of weeks, right, and see what happens. The other thing is this herbal aspirin, this inflavonoid intensive care. It's very, very powerful stuff, and give that a try. I'll put a link that down below as well. It's just basically like it turns down the faucet on the inflammation in your body. Okay, so that's the nutritional adjustment piece. Lastly is the movement piece. 14-year-old tennis player comes in, tennis season's getting ready to start, and after she plays, she starts having this hip pain, and so she's in for hip pain, right? But so I looked at her hip, and she definitely has some crossed posture syndrome. What is that? She has some tight hip flexors in the front that's not allowing her to express her athleticism with an efficient manner, because she doesn't have good hip muscle balance. But that's not what I want to make. The point I want to make about this movement piece, that's one thing. So I gave her, the push-away lunge that's in the Reverse CPS Now free series. She's got the push-away lunge. She's doing that and some other things. But whenever I asked her to connect her core, just laying on her back, I said, connect your baby core, like we call it, your back support zone, which also is in the free series. Get that if you don't have it. The free series, whenever you connect your core to the ground and lay on your back, you should be able to lift your legs and not feel your body. If I would lay down, but I'm in a very cold creek right here. But when you connect that back support zone to the ground, you should be able to keep that connected. And especially an athlete. I mean, she's been doing crunches and sit-ups and training, but she has no core, no true core, because the true core comes from neurodevelopment, like a 4-month-old baby that connects their back to the ground so they can first turn for the very first time. She could not do that. And what you'll see that in the free series, you'll see that I do that. I show you how to do the baby back test and how to lift your legs and test whether you can connect your core. But one modification to that, in the free video series, in the self-test, you're only lifting one leg at a time. In what I want you to do is try to lift both legs up, just only the first centimeter up off the ground. And when you feel your body tilt down to your pelvis, you know you cannot keep your core engaged. And if you're an athlete, you must have that. Okay? Gosh, everybody needs that, but especially if you're an athlete, putting all that force and torque through your body, very, very important. So that's the mindset, movement, and nutrition piece for today. And that's it, guys. If you have any questions about any of this stuff, post it down below. I always see all the comments and try to reply to as many as I can. And I just appreciate you guys listening. And so get outside. It's spring break week. And get outside, get in nature, get your feet on the ground, and develop some knowledge and take awareness on your knowledge and have a nutrition adjustment and get to your core, right? See you next time. Bye-bye.